Saying I'm live. It says I'm live, Sue Wright. All right, Alaska Blue, look at you, Kim. All right, man. Thanks for being here, everyone. Polly, right on, man. Thanks. Tonight, I'm going to be discussing the press conferences, the past press conferences. And there has been a lot, going on in the Delphi murders over the last pushing 4 years. Why does this still say 0 people? I can't be that far behind. It just can't. Ryan, and what up? Well, 0 people are, now 20. Right on. Okay. All right, man. Thanks for being here. Crime and Innocence, Ryan, Alaska, Kim on the trail, Kim. You know what? I got tired of waiting because I had called the Secretary of State of Indiana. And I said, do you guys not, mail the certificates of DBA? Yeah, of course we do. Great, thanks. Well, I'm waiting. Well, a month goes by plus, and finally I'm like, well, when are they mailing me these certificates of DBA? So I call them back and I said, when are you guys sending these certificates of DBA? That's doing business as name. They go, we don't. I said, so what am I supposed to do, man? Use my, the one sent on me on the receipt? Yeah, duh. I'm like, well, the last person said you mailed them. Apparently they were no, I don't know. So anyway, I went and I downloaded my receipt. And there it is right there that I now use the true King of Uganda for my business name. It is an assumed business name from Secretary of State, County Lawson down there, hang on right there, or in this area there. So that is one of 8. Hang on, I did that wrong. Screw it. Anyway, I am now the true King of Uganda. There you go. So anyway, aside of that, I will be talking about the press conferences and taking questions. Now, when we go back to the first one, and I want to point this out because in the one, and I forget exactly which one it was, the law enforcement officer had stated, and this is like regarding the photos, okay? This is long before the video came out. He said, it was after we enhanced them that we released them to the public. After we enhanced the photos, that's when we released them to the public. Now, I don't know what he meant by enhancing, because I'm telling you right now, I could go out with an identical phone as Libby German had, and I could take it all the way from the very end of that bridge, the very end, as far as you could go, at somebody exactly where he was standing, and you could watch that video and say, oh, hey, isn't that so-and-so back there walking the tracks? Yes, you could. Now, what kind of enhancement did they do to make it so grainy and pixelated where nobody could see who it was? Why did they then come out and say, oh, we took it to Disney and Pixar and NASA. Nothing can be done to fix this. What? What did you guys fucking do to those photos? Firstly, what? Because I am not cool with that enhancement any. Neither is like all the people around the world, because you cannot tell who the fuck it is. Period. You cannot. That's what I said immediately. This pixelated image has been around the world 3 times, sir. Nobody knows who this pixel is. Could you not release further? Well, that's $1 million question right there, isn't it? And I agree with you. Changes the subject completely. So anyway, I don't know what kind of enhancements they have, but if it's pixelating the image, well done. Very well done. So I will be taking any questions on the press conferences, but not the briefing. The briefing is coming out later this week, but that's the big one because I got a lot to put into that. The briefing is the one where they stepped outside of giving us the real and stepped out to in the investigation. I will cover that dramatically in that video because it is going to be full on about what they're doing. But understand, and this is me, this is just me here, I assume that everything that they are doing in a correct way, in a very correct way. I don't think that they're trying to lie. I think that they are exaggerating some of the truths. I think that they're trying to just buy that time to avoid questions that they cannot answer, until at which time that they can apply a charge to the person I'm calling a suspect. It is he and only him that is a suspect. If your mind is elsewhere and you're looking here to find out like information on your guy, I'm probably going to tell you just either sit back and enjoy my show or take off, because I do not entertain anybody else being a suspect outside of Thomas Jerome Bruce. He is the only suspect in Delphi and Evansdale, Mary Pryor, and Dan Pates. I can also definitely say that he committed the Catholic supply store sexual assault and homicide. And that's about, you know what? I mean, there's others that I look at, but I cannot entertain that it was him at this time, or I could give even other names. So that is what I will be doing here today, is answering those questions. Now, if anybody wishes to call, you may, but if you're watching my show, please state down here, I would like to call you. That way I can turn my phone on. That way I can turn the ringer on and I can hear that you're calling. Because if you're calling right now, I don't know. I can't hear it. You see where I'm at? Hey, man, right on, man. Right on. You know what? I'm the king. That's right. Or at least it's DBA. It's no different than being Burger King, I guess. Yeah, you know, I don't have to talk about like soy burgers, though. I'm not sure what you mean by a killer Facebook group. I don't know what that means. I don't know. I don't know what it means at all. I do have a page, and you know what? And I want to make mention of this because I did too miss Cav this week. I went back, and for whatever reason, because I have not seen it in recent, not in a long while have I even looked into it. But I went back and I demand, being the king of Uganda, the true king of Uganda, that everybody do the same. Go online, go onto Google, and everybody here should remember when the FBI went down right after his arrest, now pushing 2 years ago, and gathered a sample of Thomas Jerome Bruce's DNA. Now, the news down in St. Louis after the FBI did that said the FBI has taken his DNA and they're searching it against the legal database. No match yet, but they're still looking. Guess what? It's all gone. They scoured it from the internet. There is now no way to make that determination that they even got his DNA. Why would they do that? Why would they take it off the internet? Why would they say, shit, our bad. Could you take that off the internet? Thanks. Whew, we were sweating bullets. We didn't want anybody to believe that he had did that at this time. Thank you. That's why. That is exactly why. Now, go look for it. And if you go look up Thomas Jerome Bruce, FBI, and DNA, you know, FBI gathers a sample of Thomas Jerome Bruce's DNA. Do you know what's coming up first? You want to take a guess? Believe it or not, it is my intellectual copyright on my page, my Facebook page, Thomas Jerome Bruce, Delphi Suspect. Link in the description below. You can see it right there. But if you go to Google and put that in, that is what will be first on the list, is my intellectual copyright. Thank you, Google. You know, yeah, you do dick for me on YouTube, but man, hey, on fucking Google, you guys rock. Right on. So, anywho, back to the, hey, Jonathan, man, what's going on, dude? Right on, man. Glad you made it, dude. Hell yeah. Oh, I don't know who that. Oh, hey, Radar. Right on, Radar. Man, Radar, are you or are you not a moderator? Are you not a moderator? Just put up a Y for yes and N for no. Because if not, you will be. Now, see, right there. Right there, man. You know what? Hang on. Give me one quick second. I got to run over to YouTube and do what I got to do here, okay? Real quick. Only be a second. You know what, man? I stopped at the vape store today, and, man, I bought me some goodies. I did, man. God, love vaping, people. I just do. Grandmaster chess title. Yeah, I own that. I own that. 1 second. I just need to make someone a mod here. If you guys don't mind, it will only be a moment. Quick second. A 49 people viewing and 22 thumbs up. That ain't bad, but man, you know, it's quite a kick right in the fucking penis. And it's like a steel-toed boot. Oh, you are? Right on. Okay, so you are. Hell yes. Okay, well, crime and innocence, you know what? I'm taking a chance. I never know who people are. I never do. Oh, you are? Right on. Okay, so you are. Hell yes. Okay. Wait, crime and innocence is. Okay, you know what? Everybody is then. Man, my bad. My bad completely. All right. My bad. So, okay, everybody is. All right. Well done. Okay, well, that covers that. Now, if you want to call in, Drew, right on. Thanks for being here, man. Thanks. Throw up a like, you know. Act like you mean it when you do it. Let me see. Where was I going with this? Yeah, somebody called. Hold on. I don't even know who called. If you did call, give me the thing down there that said, yeah, I called. I need you to tell me that you're going to call before you call. It's the rules. Okay, go ahead, Drew. Ask your question, please. It's best just to throw the question, you know, that way it's already there. I'm not killing time, just talking and other such. So, anyways, you know what? There was only X amount to really go back into because the beginning press conferences were all real. And I understand why that they were real. I know what it is that they was looking at because I was looking at the same. Is this guy local? Appears to be. How did he get in and get out? There was no mention of a car. You know, and I think that I was looking at just about what law enforcement was to a degree, not totally, but to a degree, because they thought that the guy was local from in and around Delphi. So, Drew Smith, if you have a question, please. If you do, it would be nice to see it. Or call me at the number right there. Here, let me pull your number up. You can just call it, you know. Right there. That you can call. And guess what? It's going right to me. True King of Kathmandu. How is Anthony doing? He's still in jail. I heard he's getting out in August. I don't know that to be exactly. Yeah, well, it's when they ask about a question and then they make it like so simple. It kind of leads the way. You think immediately it's the cunt, and it always is. Always. It's always that little cunt. Did you guys know that he lives at his parents' house? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he lives at his parents' house. I called. Is Mike there? Well, he's out right now. Could you tell him that Mr. Cat called? A little pissy. Oh, no. Sabina, please. Look, if that was the case, Sabina, this is true as fact. If there was, they would have got video of everybody walking out. They would have took it to the, at least minimally, the two people that seen the guy and said, is any one of these so many people, the people that you saw? Now, the only, look, I say this for this reason. People say a lot of ignorant shit, a whole lot of ignorant shit, and it just crosses over a line. Look, when you hear shit like that, because why would they say that? It's Doug Carter saying the person could be right here in this room with us. Bullshit. He knew fucking better than that, man. He knew way better. Totally. He knew where he was at that time. So, yeah. Anthony's fine, man. Look, he's, God, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, right, but that's why I'm saying, Sabina. I mean, I'm just saying, look, man, people like take shit and then run with it. They do. And that's one of those things. When he says that, that's what he wants. He doesn't want people to believe that people are there. He can't believe that people could be that silly as to believe that the killer would be right there in Delphi at a press conference when two people seen him. There's only a couple, there's only like two people that, to my knowledge, have seen the guy. So, hey, Jerry, man, what's up? Nick? So again, man, people like get things and then run with them and then say stuff like that. And then people run with that, believing that it's true. Don't be that person. Believe me, that guy was not there. Not at all. In fact, I can tell you exactly where he was at that time. And it deals with the St. Louis County Jail. Leon? Yeah, well, that is what I do, Leon. I try to make as much sense as possible. Alaska Blue says like. And there you go. That's her giving a hello. So anyway, I feel anyway that like all of the press conferences up to the briefing. Now the briefing is going to be long. It's going to be very long, and then it will get to the briefing. But firstly, I got to lay out everything that I knew at that time of the briefing. Because, man, that was November, December, January, February, March, April. That was 5 months after his arrest. I knew fully at 100% that he was the man. He's the suspect in Delphi. I knew that at the time. And I said, okay, I know full well they didn't go down and talk to him. So they're not making a suspect announcement. I knew that. I know they're not going to do that. So I'm going to stay home and I'm going to watch it. And then I'll make a live video. You can go back and watch the live video. In fact, if you go to YouTube and you put in the Delphi briefing, mine's going to be in the top 3. Because I was pissed. And it was a live show, man. But I had a lot of time to think after that. I had a lot of time to like put 2 and 2 together and come up with 4. So, anyway, it is what it is. I feel it was a way out of the investigation, being that they knew who it was. They couldn't go speak to the man. They couldn't clear the investigation up. They couldn't get to the end until they do speak with him. So they had to hand out things that sounded good, that would make the public believe they were still working the case. And that's what they did. They named it A New Direction. Doug Carter said to the suspect, you never thought that we would change our investigation, but we have. Now, Why would he be telling the fucking suspect that? We changed our investigation. Now it ain't the FBI and state and local. Oh, God, no. Now we're looking at other things. Like what? Like what? Everything that they gave us, they already knew. There wasn't no change of investigation at all. It was, and again, man, it was like, okay, here's a new word. And we want to point out the family just heard this word this morning. Guys, down the hill. What? Why? And then he says, and this is the same man that's walking there. This is not two different people. Thanks for pointing that out, Mr. Cotter. Thanks for pointing that out. I never would have known. God, man. And again, it's going to be long because I got to explain everything up till when the Delphi briefing occurred, and then once it goes into the briefing, then I can stop and then maintain my stance as to why they did this at that time, because they knew at that time who did it, and it's not that they were lying; they didn't lie. All they did was tell us what it was they were looking at before knowing. Not a lie. So anyway, there you go. Hey, Matt, man, what's up, dude? Matt Long. Right on, man. Thanks for being here, guys. Wolfie needs a new you know what? Wolf is doing good. The little crown prince, he's doing phenomenal today. He's all healing up, He's making his stand. He's fighting like Rocky. He's just my baby. But, man, let me tell you about babies. Let me tell you something about babies. Man, I have 11 wild rats colored in my Critter Nation cage. Man, I lined it with fleece, set it up for them, and they're just in there having a good time. They literally cannot wait to have more babies. That's my business, man. I now sell wild colored domestic rats. If you want one, let me know. Shipping's going to be a bitch for you, but you'll have a pair, man. I'll send you male, female, man. You can breed your own. They even come with the pedigree. Wild male rat, female domestic rat. There you go. No. No, Leon. I have not named them yet. But, I'm thinking like Splinter, Domestica. What's the other one? Dominique. I don't know. Save you 6? Okay. You got 6. You have 6 of them, man. Can I show you Mama Rat? Well, I could, I guess. But you've seen her. I mean, she's the one that I pulled out right here. Go back like so many, a few months ago. Same little female. But anyway, yeah, I will name them and I will separate them. And yeah, I do too. I love rats. And I'm going to train them to dunk little basketballs. Got a little clicker and little Cheerios. It's going to be a great time. Let me get back to the point. So anywho. And once it gets to the briefing, then I'm going to end that. Then I am working on the final stance video, which covers everything beginning February 13, 2017, up to now. Now, that will cover everything, including Daniel Nations, the press conferences, when information was released, how that information changed my mindset upon who did it. Because I never really, the only other person of interest I ever had was Daniel Nations. And he was a good person of interest. But at the same time, when it came out at the first year that it wasn't him, then, of course, we got the information that this person had never broken or never been caught committing a crime before. And that's when my mind went, I probably don't know I don't know this guy. Now, had he committed a crime, probably did a little time in Carroll County with him. But if he never had, me and Greeno don't know him. They ain't my uncle or anything. Of catching the mail? Oh, you know what? Real quick. And again, if you got anything that you want to ask on the press conferences, right down here, as you see, this is the number to call. That's where you call and ask. Yeah, well, I had to get the male rat out, the wild rat, because she had babies. I wanted to reach in there, get them out, socialize them, hand tame them. So I had Ryan come down, and he had the live trap, and I had on 3 pairs of gloves. I says, dude, I'm going to reach in there and grab him and throw him into there. Don't let him out of my house. All right, man. So I opened it up. He runs down to the bottom, and I'm hitting his butt, man, with the back of a steel end of the fly swatter. He's freaking out. He's screaming, man. He's doing rat stuff, like biting at it and stuff, right? So he runs out, man. I'm trying to get him out there to where I can grab him. He runs around the cage, jumps out into my living room, and takes off. So Ryan says, not only do you have a wild rat in your house, you have a wild rat in your house that's fucking pissed at your ass. I'm like, shit. Man. Dude. No. Are you with me? So I get everything set up in there, man. You know, there you go, rats. He goes, there he is. So he's over here, man. And he's sitting back behind these, man. Then he runs over under like my entertainment system, which is here. He goes, he just ran into there. So I got my flashlight and I'm like, he's right there. Well, I got a little live trap, little bitty live trap, right? So I opened it up and I set it against the wall on this side. I said, hand me the fly swatter, man. So I reach back there and I tag him on the butt and he takes off running. Then you hear ka-slam. I looked over and I'm like, yes, got him, man. He ran right into the live trap. It was hilarious. It was a good time and we nailed it. Took a couple of minutes, man. Should have been here. In fact, we was going to get video of it and it fails me to tell you we did not because that was universal. That was cool as shit, man. There was a live rat in my house, got him and took him out. Rehomed him. Ask Ryan. It was a good time. Yeah, he was evil, really pissed off dude. He was not having it. Well, thanks for being here, C. Jordan. Remember the name. I remember you. What's that? Man, that's a bass you're holding. Smallmouth? Right on. Now, Ryan, tell you, look, man, we don't need no more rabbits. Did you really? You told your dad, I bet, right? So is anywho. Yeah, well, you know what? If it worked like that every time, I would. But unfortunate as it would be, I would probably end up getting rabies. Smallmouth, hell yeah. You know what? My friend Ryan right here, man, go back, God, that's been years ago. He caught a huge smallmouth. Huge out of the wildcat, man. Ask him about it. God, man, it was the largest smallmouth I'd ever seen. Couldn't believe he caught that. Hey, Incog's here. Right on, man. Incog. Bam. Now, I'm just happy that you're here, man. One of my favorite mods ever. Yeah, hit the like button. You know what? People that hit the like button, man, you know what? There may be something special in it for you. There may be, but there probably won't be. I don't have anything to give. Oh, yeah, I do too, man. I have my café, but that was from years ago. Thank you very much, Katie. You rock. Well, let me get rid of that. So, oh, wait, no, not that one. This one. There we go. Get back to Michael J. Cap. So is anyway, but if you do want to call, the number scrolling there at the bottom. Okay, so if anybody wants to call, just in general, please call. I'm kind of caught up. It don't take long to get caught up on press conferences. Y'all watch the 2 videos. You know, you should ask some questions regarding. Yeah, I can send you a pissed off rat. Let me tell you, any rat that you catch wild, it's going to be pissed. Hey, what the hell's calling me? Hello.
Yeah, hello there.
How you doing?
Good. It's Crown Flu. How are you?
I'm doing well. You?
Good. I want to see this video. I think you need to go out and do the video.
What video?
The rat one.
I'm not going to release a wild rat in my house and try that again. Not. That's not going to be me today or any other day. Believe me, I was pretty upset the first time. I'm wearing my freedom shirt. Wait, you know what? Wait, see, you can't. It says freedom right here. Okay. That's why I wear this shirt.
Oh,
hey.
do that.
Leon Craig, right on, dude. Right on, right on, right on.
So I'm calling. Everybody needs to donate if they can to you and Woofy.
Well, it keeps the electric on. And other such as like telephone and other utensil things for upgrading. You know, actually, as far as upgrades go, man, what I need is a better camera. I mean, I've been using this Logitech, webcam forever. But the thing is, man, it's like to get that in like a HD, where it looks clear like it does on my Sony Handycam. That would be cool. That would be worth having a live show. And I appreciate you pointing that out. Thank you very much.
Yes, you do. Well, you can get a camera. Just go on Amazon.
Well, no, I got a good camera, but I can't go live with it. It's high def and has 32 times zoom. But, I mean, I got to have one where I can hook it into my computer to be live. And believe me, when you're talking about a high def like webcam to go live with, that's some crazy money. That is insane money.
Is it?
Yeah, until you buy it and realize that the name of it is 4K. It isn't 4K. It don't show in no 4K. It's the same definition as this one right here. They name it 4K so that you'll buy it thinking it's 4K. That's right. BS. That's BS right there. And thank you again, Leon, for that.
Man, and I'm just trying to figure out how to work the OBS in the background.
Hang on a second. 1 second. Yeah. Okay. Apparently it was a troll.
Oh, yeah, we don't like trolls.
Nope. But they love me.
Yeah, they just have nothing better.
You're right.
But you have a lot of good supporters, so that's good.
I do, and I think the world of all my supporters. In fact, if you come here to view my show or any information, you rock.
Yes, I will come up to the rat.
Yeah, really? Cool.
Sure, why not?
I like rats, man. I just do. They are a smart breed. They're very intelligent, easily trainable. I like them.
They are, but I would only get one. I don't need that anymore.
Well, yes, but I needed to get a female to go with the male because, it is what it is. I needed the wild colors.
Well, they multiply pretty fast, so be careful.
They do. They breed like rats.
They do, like bunnies.
Yep.
So, all right, I'll let somebody else call. I just wanted to open it up for you.
All righty. Thank you very much for calling. You have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Bye. All right. So let's back off of rats here. Let's get back to the subject at hand. If anybody has a question concerning the Delphi press conferences, put down here. I would like to call you right down in the chat box. Mr. Cat, I would like to call you now. And it'll be right there. Glad you finally did get to watch me live. You too, man. Listening, watching, and reading comments. Right on, man. Thank you. Thank you, His Angel. You rock. Glad everybody made it. Man, I hope everybody brought their favorite vice. I have mine, which happens to be my vape, and a Mr. Pibb Extra Soda. That's all I got. I just got back from Coco. Man, look at all these names, man. Well, you say I'm trying to call. Hello?
Oh, hi. It was me calling before. You thought I was a troll, but I'm not a troll.
Well, why did you keep calling back so many times when I was on the line with someone?
Oh, it's a call-in show, and it has the call-in number. And when I called the first time, you picked up and hung up right away. So I thought there was something wrong with the system. I'm not trolling. I'm just listening and wanted to call in. And I was a little bit offended that you assumed I was a troll just because you didn't hear from me right away.
Well, when I say hello twice and nobody answers, you understand.
Well, I didn't hear you say hello. I didn't hear you say it. I would never do that, Mr. Katz. Sir, I watch the channel. I support.
Well,
the fact that you would say that I'm a troll is just like, I don't want to be called a troll. I don't want to be one of those people. You know what I mean? I want to be thought of in that way.
I hear what you're saying, but I did not see your name, so I had no idea that you was not a troll. I said it must have been a troll. I did not say it was a troll.
Okay,
and
but
I apologize.
I just want to clarify that.
Okay. So, did you have a question?
Hello, are you there?
Yeah. Do you have a question?
Yeah, my question is, I just farted.
Ah, that's groovy. Anything further? Like, was it wet? Ah, man. Son of a bitch. You know what, man? Trolls, it's just so fucking easy. It's just so easy. It just is. I don't know, man. I got a life. And when I don't have a life, I do what other people do. Well, maybe I don't either. Maybe I don't do what other people do. It's kind of hard for me to say. What an idiot. No, you can tell by the voice, man. You just can, if you know what I mean. Well, I was offended that you called me a troll. Well, shit, fuck you. I mean, what do you want me to do, man? What do you want me to do, troll? Oh, by the way, if you don't mind finding his name with the area code, blah, 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 and giving him the Aladdin, that'd be spectacular. It was an attempt, Katie. It was an attempt. No, I don't think they do. I think that they think that they're as brainless as they really are. I a troll? Well, it's when the odd names start popping up. That's when, yeah. How you doing? It's you. It's you, Debbie G. So, anyways, man, this is going to be an early show. It's going to be early. And, man, I still got a bit, I mean, if anybody has a question on the Delphi press conferences, please throw it down there in the chat box right here. Actually, over here. Well, it's actually down in there. Hello.
Okay, Mr. Cat.
Yes.
Sorry, I was holding my breath when I was listening to the previous caller. I had a feeling he was going to be a TROLL.
Yeah. Could you not tell by the voice?
I don't know whose voice that is. I've heard it.
I do.
I bet you do.
It's cool. I got an LCC thing on it, man, and I know his home number, and I will be sending them a response.
Okay, well, I have kind of an interesting thing. It's related, but everybody will have to figure out how it's related.
Okay.
In the 60s, murders in this country were solved at 90%.
Yeah.
And that is including everyone's murder solve rate. little towns, big towns, and there may not have been as many, but we've got more police officers now.
Oh, we got police.
Yeah, and in 2017, I think the latest murder rate, solve rate, was right around 60%. So we have lost 30%
For the family. That's why.
30% of the murder solve rate throughout the country. That means 30% of these guys are getting away with it. And granted, we're starting to get new technology and faster things. And boy, CSI never had this problem when it was on TV. They solved almost every one in 60 minutes.
Of course. And they can. And they will.
Absolutely. But my point is, when I was researching that this week, I found out that when a murder or a murderer is caught by the FBI, they do not put those murders in CODIS. And they have an entirely separate system within the FBI where they keep track of all the murder cases that are under their jurisdiction. And they are just now being encouraged to report those and have them be part of, the serial killer clusters and those murders that are out there that are solved and unsolved. So if, for instance, we go to, just take, for instance, Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
And Ted Bundy had around 40 murders.
I think I thought it was 36. It could have been a lot more than that.
Well, it could have been 46 in my mind. But instead of those murders during the 70s and early 80s being reported on CODIS, once they took over the case, those were not reported at all, except on their database. Now, I find that interesting for a couple reasons. There was a reporter from back east that decided he was going to start putting these numbers and cases together. And he happens to run the Murder Accountability Project. And I've watched that site kind of morph into something that's really usable. And now you have a cluster of murders that sure looks like a serial killer in Indiana. And not too darn far from you. He's in Indianapolis, if I understood it right. So why aren't they doing that? There is no requirement for the FBI to include their murder cases in CODIS or any other accessible database to law enforcement. And another thing that's terribly troubling to me is that police departments are not required to report their murder cases. They are not required. It is completely a voluntary system. How in the world can they track these guys if they don't have one system to report to? And it's a requirement. Did you hear me?
Yes.
Now, give me your wise answer.
I don't know what to say. I mean, I could say, well, maybe they should do it different, but I mean, it remains to the fact, of course they should, of course.
Well, why haven't they been doing it over the last 20 years? That's why it's taking so long to verify Samuel Little's cases from all over the country. And he drew them pictures. He drew the pictures of his victims. And they still aren't done with that case. And it's been, what, 2 years?
Yeah.
I always had faith in the FBI until I read something as backwards as that is.
Speaking of backwards, I did something. I wrote down the names of the people who donated this last week to dedicate this show to them without using their full name. It's gone. But I do know that one of them was Leslie. And the other two, I forget. Man, I'm sorry about that, you guys. I am. I'm incredibly sorry, and I had it all prepped to give the names and everything, and well, now I'm just going to have to send you guys a personal email.
So, Michael, just tell them that the rats ate it.
I will not. I wouldn't put anything in there where the rats could have ate it. I'm very watchful of my rats. Thank you.
I think you and Ryan should do a recreation.
Yeah, what we'll use is a plastic rat and pull it across the floor. We'll throw it into the live trap and go, got him. Yeah, we'll make a full-on mockumentary of it, you know. Yeah, it would be worth doing. Yeah, we might do that. Hell, I got to set my Critter Nation cage up here tomorrow. So, radar back.
Okay, well, I will let you.
Hang on. Let me.
Oh, the other thing that I wanted to mention.
Uh-huh.
It came to my mind. I was doing some research on Liberty German's estate.
Yeah.
And the murders happened in February. It wasn't until October that they filed an estate for Liberty, and her grandmother's the executor, I guess it's called in Indiana. And it's pretty obvious that the estate was filed so they could get information from Apple Computer. But my question is, why did it take them from February till October to file for those documents? They didn't have any of the information then from her computers that needed to come from Apple.
There could be a few reasons for that. In September of 2017 is when we got word in the media that Daniel Nations was a prime person of interest and he was in Colorado. Now, had they felt that he may be that person, they probably wanted to either hear more words, more pictures, more of the video, something along that line. It could have as well been memories that were on the phone. It could have, I don't think that it was anything that law enforcement wasn't doing. I think that it dealt directly with their daughter, their granddaughter, and what could have been on that phone. The mom of girl number 2, which is what I call her here, that way I don't mention names, but she went down once they extradited Daniel Nations back to Jefferson County here in Indiana to question him. That was 1 week before the press conference, the first year press conference. She went down there to see him. And that's because I feel that at that time, she felt that he may have been the suspect. So it could have been for reasons of memories. It could have been as well for reasons to see if it gave them more suggested that it was Daniel Nations or not Daniel Nations. It could have been for a lot of many reasons. I don't really have a specific answer, though.
Well, do you think it might have been for the GPS, for Libby's GPS on that phone?
Well, if the phone was found right there, I don't think that there was any reason for them to believe that they left and then was brought back, because once they started searching, there was no way for someone to bring someone in there. There would be no way. I mean, they would have to bring the bodies back and then bring it in. So I don't think that they ever felt that the phone left that area. You know, I think it was for the information that was on that phone that only law enforcement had in their investigation that they kind of wanted. Maybe, but I'm not saying that. I mean, it could have been for a lot of different reasons. It could have been because Daniel Nations was in it. They wanted to see what they could find that related to Daniel Nations. If there was more, you know, there's a lot of things. In fact, man, the video and the audio of that, man, that could have been held back. That could have been held back off of that and them not allowed to have that because it was part of a murder investigation. You see where I'm at? I mean, so there's, it could have given them a timestamp, so to speak, as to when it occurred, because we know that and again, man, I point this out because now people, look, I told you about the DNA down in St. Louis. They scrubbed the internet of it. There is no longer newscast. There is no longer news articles that pertain to the FBI going down and getting the DNA of Thomas Jerome Bruce. Well, the same thing happened with that picture of girl number 2 that girl number 1 took of her on Monon High Bridge. Now, when that first came out, it had a timestamp on it. And I went back into my video history of when it came out with the timestamp on it on my older computer. And that timestamp, and hear what I'm saying, is 217, not 207. Not that shit they're saying online. It was 217, not 207. If it was 207, that would have changed the whole dynamic. So you got to add 10 more minutes to that, and there it is. Because it was at 217. Now everybody goes with 207. It was not fucking 207. Get it out of your head. It never was. It was 2:17 p.m.
Well, then my guess is within just a very few minutes, he was coming up and passed the girls, turned around, and that's when he took them down the hill.
That could be. If they was heading down to the south side, when he walked by him, I'm certain that he said something. He had to have said something when he walked by them. Otherwise, they never would have got it into their head. This guy may be a threat. You see where I'm at? Because once he walked up far enough and started coming back, that's when they're like, okay, you know, we want to capture this guy's image and audio for law enforcement.
Well, now, do you believe that video or those photographs that they have from the video was taken as far away as 60 feet?
You know what? I could go 40 feet. Now, GH, another channel, people probably know, he covers the Delphi case. Now, he said that the video was taken at the far south side of the bridge. I disagree, but I disagree for this reason. When you see where that camera is pointing to, look down. Look at the railroad ties that's to its front. You wouldn't get that if he was all the way back. You would have a lot of railroad ties going all the way down. That's why I think it was taken at that last platform that was on the left. That's where the girls were at, right in around that area. Now, that would be at about 45 feet away. And again, I'll point out that if I had an identical phone to hers, identical, and I'm 45 feet away from a guy that's walking near me without enhancements, law enforcement, without your enhancements of pixelation, it would have been clear as day. You could have looked right at it and said, "Oh, fuck me, man, that's Thomas Jerome Bruce." Now that bothers me why they did that. Why didn't they release the upfront, the unenhanced video taken right off of her phone? Everybody would have knew who it was. Everybody. Well, not everybody. Not everybody knew who it was. Even if they had it clear as day, I'd say, yeah, sure as shit. I don't know who the hell that is. But those who knew him would have said, well, screw me up the backside. That's Thomas Jerome Bruce.
Well, I wonder if they messed his face up using pixels because they think they may have to use that entire video as evidence, and say the prosecutor wouldn't allow it to be released until it was confusing.
Yeah,
You see what I mean?
I do.
That is the only reason. I can't make sense of it either. And that's the only reason I can think of that they would do that. And it's obvious.
Hang on 1 second, if you would. Just real quick. The familial DNA that C.C. Moore does, after that it came out that they had arrested John D. Miller in Fort Wayne for the 30-year-old rape and murder of 8-year-old April Tinsley, they found him by using her methodology of familial DNA with the DNA detectives. She started that in April of 2018, and they arrested him in July of 2018. That's 2 months. Now, you also got to take into effect that they had to, once she brought it down to them, it's one of these two men. They had to go to their trash, extract things that would have their DNA, pull that DNA from it, and then put that into a database to compare back to the suspect DNA. That's going to take every bit of 2 weeks to do. So within a month and a half, she had the guy nailed. All right. Now, everybody says, well, why didn't they do that with Delphi? Well, right after that happened, we got a hold, me and Greeno, we got a hold of Sheriff Lesnby. When we said, well, hey, they got this familial DNA that seems to be working. You know, she found John D. Miller, you know, the Golden State Killer, you know, and it really works well. Have you guys considered using this? He wrote back a hold of us. Well, it's new technology, and we are looking into it. Do you have any way to reach her? I said, well, she got a hold back a hold of us in the comment section of my old channel. I said, but these are the methods by which to reach her. I'm sure you could do that, so on, so on. So we sent him that number. Now, that was the end of that. Now, the following day, the very next day, they had in the Logan Sport paper, Carroll County investigators are going to use the same technology as what got John D. Miller. And I'm like, why did he even play me like that, man? Why is he asking for contact information when he already had that set up? Now, here was the bad thing. If it took her a month and a half to nail down a guy whose last name is Smith, okay, how long would it take her to find a guy with a less common last name? You know, pretty quick and easy, correct? Really easy. Month and a half, 2 months out, we'll know who it is. That was my thought. 2 months goes by. Crickets. 3 months goes by. Nothing. 4 months goes by. Catholic supply store, sexual assault and homicide. So I must question, man, did they lie about it? What was they just saying, well, we're going to get around to it one day? I have no idea what it was that they was, you know, why did they even fucking say that if it wasn't true? Why? It was clearly either a lie because they never did find out, right? They never did come out and say, oh, it's this guy. This is who did it. She got him, and now we arrested him. Never happened. But people are asking, well, why didn't they use it? Well, they said they was. They, being the Logan Sport paper, having already talked to, I believe, Carroll County investigators, stated in that article that they were to be using the exact same technology as what got John D. Miller. Now, if that is not familial DNA and the DNA detectives, I don't know what is. Now, what happened is that Thomas Jerome Bruce, 2 months after the fact, that's when he sexually assaulted the 77-year-old. 1 month after that was the traffic pullover. The month after that was the Catholic supply store sexual assault and homicide. He knew they was going to come knocking. He knew he was going to pay because when these crimes were committed, he had never heard of such shit. It wasn't even in the public language. We never thought of it. It had to go through a legal database. No longer. So, yeah, he felt frightened, and he felt frightened enough that, he went out committing these crimes. And I think he committed the Catholic supply store sexual assault and homicide because he knew his time was short and he was going out the way he wanted to. In fact, I believe that he was looking at it as a police suicide, They was going to come knocking on his door. He was going to have a firearm, and he was going out that way. Wrong. They kicked his door in, and they took him in a fight and blackened his eye. And Thomas Jerome Bruce, you will pay for Delphi. Believe me, you will be here in due time.
I think he will. And his wife made the comment, I read it somewhere, that she thought she was being kidnapped when the SWAT came through the door.
Oh, I bet.
Because,
yeah,
there was that was a big no-knock warrant. And they went in there and they just got him. And
you know what? I think that they did that correctly. And I'll tell you what.
Right.
Well, for this reason, when they got BTK, they waited for him to, he was in his vehicle. Okay. I think that they knew at that time he did not have weapons. But Thomas Jerome Bruce carried a weapon in his vehicle. They didn't want him being in a vehicle they were pulling over because they felt that he was armed and dangerous and would get out fighting. You see where I'm at? With the weapon. So I think that that's why they went into his house directly and arrested him.
At 7 a.m. And
7 a.m.
Sometimes those no-knock warrants are purposely done through the night. And I think you are right, spot on, that he knew. And I think he was frustrated that he didn't complete whatever. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking to somebody that had wrote a comment.
Oh, I think he was frustrated because home invasion, sexual assault, he wasn't able to finish because he knew her husband was coming home. And his plan didn't go right.
Maybe. I mean, I see where you're at, but look, man. I mean, if he was going to kill her, well, why wouldn't he wait for her husband to come home, kill her husband in front of her to get that look, to get the reaction, and then kill her the same way? I mean, that just seems more like the way that he would do it to me.
Now stop and think about that.
Okay.
He doesn't kill men.
Well, you say he don't kill men, but we don't know that he don't kill men.
Well, and that's true.
I'm not saying he goes out and sexually assaults men, but at the same time, if that was between him and a chosen victim, I think that man would probably die. And killing a woman's husband right in front of her, I mean, if you're looking for a reaction of a female, there it is.
You're absolutely right. Absolutely correct. There's no logic to these people. They don't always follow a set pattern. They just meet most of the criteria that people, the FBI set. But I wanted to mention, you were talking about familial DNA.
Yes.
And I can't remember the names and I can't remember the state even. But there was a female that was killed in 1964. And they have just developed, through Parabon Labs, the family's DNA. They went back as far, and they narrowed it down to 2 brothers. And one brother tested it did not fit the DNA. So they knew it was the other brother. They went and they got some trash and they matched it. They can't find him now. He is 80-something years old, and he's not in any database anywhere.
That makes sense.
So they've solved it, but they just can't find him. His name is James Russell Taylor, I think.
Jimmy Taylor.
Jimmy Taylor, yes. But I will let you go. And so far, so good. This is a wonderful live.
It is?
Yes, and thank you.
Well,
Absolutely.
thank you for being here. Thank you so much for calling. I enjoy good calls. I do. It gives me somebody to relate back and forth to. That way I'm not just sitting here repeating myself, which seems to be the habit that I take up every Tuesday evening, is repeating. But, I was trying to stick it to I don't mean it like that. I was trying to keep the program specifically on the press conferences, because there was a lot of early information that we got from those press conferences. So there wasn't anything for me to say on them aside of rolling them and maybe try to explain what it is that we know now that we didn't at that time that they was inquiring about. So I kind of threw that into them. If you notice, it's like on the first year press conference, I gave the video rather than just the pictures. But that's because people get a hold of me on here and they say, well, they need to release more information. People, if you don't know who it is, if you don't know that guy, they could give you his DNA, his fingerprints, his retina scan, pictures of him, a full audio, and you still won't know who it is. It's not a matter of what they got to release. They already know who did it. They know. And they will try him right there in Carroll County. Due time. Okay, his jury trial begins on October the 13th. Very odd. Very, very odd for all the reasons that I've already mentioned. Because Friday the 13th, which was the day of the Evansdale, Iowa murders, Friday the 13th is superstition, a bad day, because King Philip issued the arrest warrants for the Knights Templar and to bring all of their belongings to him, because that was, they gave that up on their arrest to him being the king. Now, that happened on Friday, October the 13th. Now, his jury trial begins on October the 13th. I find that to be very odd, just in the same way I find the reversible dates of Evansdale, Iowa, and Delphi to be reversible. Very weird dynamics. Very, very weird. And what was her name? Man.
And
Christine. Christine Barrow. Thank you, Christine. Go ahead.
If all of these dates and the reversibility and the coincidences are true, then that will be, I would assume, mentioned at trial.
Well,
and I wonder how they're going to start explaining that, because there is a lot more to Thomas Bruce than what anybody knows.
Christine says coincidences, but now on the date of the jury trial, when it begins, I could give that to you. I could, and it may be a coincidence. But on the reversible dates of Evansdale and Delphi, I do not believe that to be coincidence at all. I really don't. It was preset. He went out that day to commit a murder there. He was looking for an opportunity to commit a murder at Monon High Bridge 12. Masonic coincidence. Masonically, maybe coincidences. And you may be right there as far as that goes. But again, you're looking at one day of the year. Now, if it was on Friday, October 13th, I'd be questioning a little bit more deeper.
And we don't know if perhaps he went out.
I don't think you're crazy, Christine. You're
and
right.
Never found anybody to kill.
Well, you know what? I believe that him showing up at 12 p.m. that day, Aladdin, showing up at 12 that day and leaving at 3, I think that there were other people. There was definitely the lady walking her dogs. He did not attack her. There was other people in the house, I'm sure, that may have came in short time when she didn't return. What would he have done with the dogs? He didn't want the time that he was committing the crime to be touched upon. So I think that other people may have crossed over the bridge. I just don't think that they befit his mental picture of the victim, so to speak. I think that he may have even been looking for 2 younger girls. I'm not saying he was or was not. It could have been happenstance that occurred that way. And it's unfortunate nonetheless that anybody would die. But the simple fact is, 2 young girls never go home again. 2 girls never to be seen. They're gone, wiped off the earth. And for what? For what? For what reason? You know, for what sick reason? You know, would anybody take a human life? It does not seem to me, and I'm positive to most everybody viewing, like anything that we would logically do. We would not go kill somebody just for the sake of their reaction to it, to the humiliation that's involved, to feel more powerful. How do you feel powerful killing a child? How does that make you feel powerful? That does not make you powerful. That makes you very weak.
You know, and I agree. The thing is,
Hold on, wait. 28 shorts like. 28 likes short. 28 likes. Man, we got 92 people here, and we only need 28 likes, man. 28. Come on, man. I'll give you a second. Ready? Click the like button, man. It's in there, just right below, man. Just click that little thumbs up for me. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you.
Do you think he chose the girls in Evansdale and the girls in Delphi
No.
to shock an entire community?
Well, that I cannot answer. I don't think that he went there. And now, if you're asking me to, like, why he did that, I don't think it was to shock an entire community. I think that it was more for the, and I don't want to be graphic about it, but there was his motivation, and that motivation is brutal, and that's why he got him out of there to go commit that crime. Now, again, though, if you look at, hang on, yeah, you know what, I agree with you. I really do. Patrick, do it again, and you're out of here. You are out of here. Just say one more effing word. One more. Try it. But yeah, I do believe that is something that they try to do. They try to make themselves as godly as possible, so that people think, oh no, he believes in the Lord. He wouldn't do that. Where, again, BTK, he went to church. This guy was a pastor at church. I think he still maintained a position, so to speak, or went to church. So, it is what it is, and it is a maybe. Thank you, Carla. Yeah, mods do rule.
Yeah, I think that over the years, since I've been watching this, there's been a lot of men of religion, let's just put it that way, that have killed.
Hold on a second. Yes, you. I do not think LaFon did it. In fact, I'm going to say it is so far out of the realm of possibility that if you believe that he did it, you are probably watching a lot of nonsense. If you come here and you don't agree with me, fair enough. You can come here and you can look over the information that I am giving to you. But when you bring up somebody up there, man, in such a manner like that, I don't know. I don't know who you are. You may be a good guy. You might be a troll. I don't know. So again, kind of watch what you say, man. If you say it, you better have some fucking damn good evidence, or don't throw it out there. Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
I am speechless. I even forgot what I was talking about. I think you're right. I think it's kind of rude to bring that up. And I don't believe it's even within the realm of possibility.
I don't either. Look, LaFon's been in jail for how long? He's in Indiana.
No, LaFon.
Yeah. Right, LaFon.
I thought that was the younger Boy Scout. What am I thinking of? His dad's a scout leader. I must have missed something.
Hold on.
I think it's a bad idea to do these comparisons of everybody in Indiana and close that have nothing to do with this case, and it drags their name through the mud. Because half of the males in Indiana look like that picture. And maybe that was the point.
Well, you know what? If he isn't in jail, case proven. Yeah, you're not pulling one over on the FBI. They'd go, well, Fon did it, but my God, we just have all this evidence, and God, for some reason, we just can't point a finger to him. Hang on a second. Yeah. Hello? You there?
Yes, I'm here. Would you like me to hang up?
Nah, I don't know who it was. Anyways, let me get back to this here for a second. It says, hi, Kat. TB's crimes seem heat of the moment, unplanned. He doesn't seem the type to hang around a bridge for that amount of time in hopes of a victim. What do you think? Well, I only know of 4, and all of them went around opportunity. The opportunity presented itself, and that is what he does. He awaits opportunity. It was on the reverse date of Evansdale. Now, I believe that he left St. Louis to head to Delphi to go to that trail in hopes of waiting for an opportunity that unfortunately arose. That's me. That's my thoughts. That's how I feel. Okay.
Okay, well, I happen to agree. I think he spent about 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours at the trail. I think his first step, find an area.
I'm going to turn the fucking color ID off.
I think that his first step was to find a place he could commit the murders. And once he did, then he just went out and waited.
Exactly.
And I think that was his strategy the whole time, as in Mary Pryor. I don't believe that he walked into a small town of about 600.
Yeah,
that,
small town.
Major thoroughfare right through the middle of town, and walked up to the first door. I think he waited. I think he saw her outside gardening, and I think he knocked on her door and forced his way in, just like he did in that sexual assault.
Yeah.
Only she didn't have anybody but her little dog there. My God, she was 88 years old.
Do you know, 88 years old. My God, man. 88 years old and children. That is not a person that I want living in my world. I do not want that person to be alive in my world. In fact, so much so, I would pay everything that I have to go in there and hurt that fucker with a crowbar. All day, all night, until he died. I would resuscitate and begin again. That's me.
Well, I think there'd be a number of us cheering you on. And
well, I'd have it on video, but it would be very private. I'd probably get like assault with a deadly weapon for that or some shit. You can't do him like that without due process. Well, I do process it. In fact, I can show you the do of that process should you like to see it. It's red. It's all over his cell. It's splattered a bit.
I just hope that there aren't younger children. I think Lyric or
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. The youngest one there was 8 years old.
9.
That's my grandson's age, and it just kills me to know that somebody would hurt a child. That's going pretty deep into the age range as far as youngsters. And I don't understand how anybody could kill an innocent, and that's just darn near close. And I think that once they get him in jail, they should start studying him the same as they did with Ed Kemper, because these people have got different motives, different reasons. And Kemper was pretty honest about, you know, everything he told to the FBI, including the intimidation. And I don't understand, there are so many different reasons that serial killers kill. And I'd like to try to figure it out sometime. I mean, Dahmer was pretty open to the FBI, but I don't think they've studied it enough to figure out what in the world is wrong with these people and the way they think. So,
you know, I think that there was a difference between Kemper and Bruce. I mean, Kemper, yes, he had anger toward women. He wasn't a sadist. He did not enjoy the humiliation of it. I mean, you know, he just wanted to kill them for those mental reasons. You see where I'm at? He didn't wish to take them to the side, murder them in a bad way, get the reaction of the other. In fact, he even left the one girl in the vehicle and went back and said, hey, you know, your friend's hurt and she got mouthy. I hit her, you know, and she seen the blood and said, well, what's up? I said, man, she needs your help. Then he stabbed her in the belly. She was wearing like denim. And he said the knife didn't even go through and it lifted her. He said, I felt like hell. Well, that's not something that a sadistic serial killer will do. You see where I'm at?
No, there's a world of difference between him and Thomas Bruce.
Well, exactly. That's the point.
I mean, I can't even stand to see an animal be tortured, let alone a human being. And I just don't get what makes them kill a human being. And sadistic tendencies, yeah, I understand that. But boy, I couldn't kill somebody unless my family was in danger.
Yeah.
Somebody was torturing my dog, or my life was in danger.
If somebody went after my dog, they would die, or they would at least be beat half to death. You can touch me, you know. You can touch me, man. We can throw down. You go after my dog, man. You have crossed a line. MC, I will be quite clear. I do know your number, and guess what? I am calling the fucking FCC after this show, and I am relating to them that you are the fucking problem, and that if they do not file charges, I will have you in fucking court. Eat a dick.
What, you've got trolls showing up?
Nah, it's the cunt calling.
Who?
Michael the Cunningham. Oh, I got his fucking number. I'll just call him and I'll say every time at this hour I get telephone calls from here, you might want to press some fucking charges. There it is. They got the fucking thing on my phone. They know who's calling.
Remind me not to make you angry.
He's just a piece of shit.
Well, I agree. We've had that conversation.
I talk him a lot.
But you know, as far as...
No, you don't need to sign a petition to the FCC. They're fucking federal. You give them the goddamn information, their ass better get the fuck on it. I told them to monitor my phone, told them the days and the hours, and guess what? Now I'm just going to turn the motherfucker in. This is his name. This is his number. This is who you federally go contact.
Well, Michael, as far as the press conference.
The what?
The press conferences.
Yes.
I wonder if they had a plan.
Like?
Because, well, it's going to be a plan. Like, hello?
Yeah.
Hi, is this the Mike Cat Show?
It is?
I would just like maybe to get before we're told by law enforcement that this happened. And for whatever reason, let's just say Indiana State Troopers notified the FBI and they brought all these resources in. I think what probably spurned the FBI in there is because of what they had in their own database. And they're watching for a killer who they predicted would kill again. And that's how they jumped on Delphi so fast.
Well, I agree. In fact, I put that in the one concerning. Hang on a goddamn second. Yeah. Hey, listen, if you fucking call back one more goddamn fucking time, one fucking more. What?
Joe is that rotten pie hole. Hello?
Okay. So, Christine, here's the answer to your question. Provided, only provided, that those are correct and that they are not just made up crap. And I do believe that they maybe, could be, possibly be, because it doesn't look exactly like anything that I would screenshot off of Facebook. Now, he is related to one of the girls, okay? Now, if we are to take them as correct, and what I do is I put it in the back of my head that the photos or the screenshots that were given by David, if they are real, then this is my reasoning for that. Okay, one, girl number 2 was the selected target. Why was the other girl's body injured so harshly? Well, it's because the sadistic serial killer wants the facial reaction. Okay, when he does that to the girl's best friend, he gets that reaction out of the one he chose. He gets that reaction of, look what I'm doing to your friend. You see what I'm saying? Do you want me to do the exact same? You see where I'm at? So you get that reaction out of that girl, because that's what sadists want, is the reaction. They want to see the reaction, the facial reaction. They want to humiliate. They want to harm. They want to do things. That's why Thomas Jerome Bruce shot the one girl in the head. Shot the woman in the head. Why? To get the reaction out of the other two, and then continued on with them. So that's what makes me wonder. Is it real? It may be. It might be. And I hold it in my back of my head that it could be, but I don't cloud my head with what could be. You know, if it's nothing that I can say, I know this to be true, well, hell, man. I mean, like if he was a friend of mine and him and I was in like any kind of communication, all I got to do is go on there and erase what he did say and put in what I wanted him to say and then screenshot it and say, he sent this to me. Easy enough to do. So, I mean, I hold that in the back of my head that it's possibly true, but may not be entirely true. That's just my thoughts. I don't know that, though. I mean, you know, and again, it could be entirely true, but it may not be. You know, it could be somebody just seeking attention. A lot of people like to seek attention. A lot of people love attention. You know, I mean, I always advise to them, get a fucking YouTube channel and stop being a pain in the ass. But, you know, some people living in their mommy's basement, man, they don't follow by that. They don't. Incognito society? No one bashes trolls like her in Alaska Blue, man. Sue Wright, Crime Sleuth, man, all my mods rock. Every damn one of them. So, if anybody has anything, hey, Mother Humper, yeah, what up? I can't hear you, bye. If anybody has anything that they want to go in on a press conference, please tell me you're calling in first. Just do that. That's right. How's come I'm not seeing like no little... Man, maybe I don't see them on here. I mean, aren't I supposed to see a little wrench beside the names? The mods do rock. Absolutely. That is what they do best. Okay, I will be ending the show at 8 o'clock, but I'm only ending it for a couple of reasons. One, I got to go kick Ryan's ass in a game of chess. I'm not a Mason, Christine. Now, I have read a lot of Mason material by like Manly Hall, and I forget the other guy's name. Man, I wish I had looked it up the last time, and I should have recalled it. But he was a 33rd degree Mason. In fact, he's the one. Hey, Yorkshire tea, right on. No, never believe Yorkshire tea. Come on. He only does that so that he can call and be a fucking piece of shit. That's what he is. I told him, I says, dude, man, I can find where you live. I'll just show up. He goes, I double dog dare you to get in your car. You can't even drive because they ain't got a license. I'm like, dude, ain't nobody saying I'm going to get a hold of you first. I'll just drive down there and beat your fucking ass. Ain't like I'm sending an invite, man, like I'm on my way. You won't know until I get video of it. So, yeah, I went outside my fucking state line. I beat the shit out of this bitch. And here's video of me beating the shit out of him. That's how you fucking do that. He's not lonely. He's a piece of shit. Two different things, man. I'm back on the track. Okay, so if anybody's got a question concerning press conferences and Delphi, that's not the briefing. What? Okay. All right, man. I'll be at the pool that like roughly after 8, dude. Make sure you have the chess set with you. I will. I'll guarantee you that I will have a videographer right there making sure we get the up close, personal, spray, matter, and even twitches should they apply. And again, 3 people, and I have your names. I mean, I put them down to make mention of it, and I know that one of them was Leslie, and another one was, God, I knew all the names, but man, I know so many names now off of here. That's me. That's how I operate. I don't really know, Matt. Which one ended abruptly, was cut short abruptly? I don't know that they ever cut one short. I think that if there was any questions or questions stopped or something like that, it was probably the reason. What? Really, Christine? Now, the only connection that, hang on, because I want to speak on that for a minute. The only reason, or the only thing that I can play, Pike, that's it. Yes, Pike. Really, he does. Now, okay, but now that's got to be coincidence because he had no idea. None, zero, that she was going to be there that day. None. Zip, nada. But the reason that he would speak on Abigail Williams, provided, was because Abigail Williams was the one that turned the other people in at the Salem witch trials. And it was in the Salem News, the Delphi murders, for that reason. And that's where I heard that originally, right off the bat. I was like, wow. That is odd, but it made me think, man, well, was it somebody that was mixed up in their cult? You know, something like that? Maybe, perhaps, you know, but I will look back, man, and I'll see what I can find on Pike speaking about or writing about Abigail Williams in the ceremony, because that would be You should call. Oh, did you need a number? Hello? Try again. They didn't have anything to provide on how the girls were killed in Evansdale. Hello? All right, we'll just let it ring. I can't hear what the fuck that's saying.
Hello? Please enter a
Hello? Try again. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes,
This is Kat.
it is.
Hi.
Hi.
So I know it kind of comes off as weird, and most people, you know, it was the 80s, don't really take a lot of it into consideration. There is a lot of like Masonic British witchcraft in just the geography of everything. And that's always really interested me, especially with her name. And there's a lot of stuff like that going on there.
Okay. Now you're talking about the geography of Indiana?
No, just, okay, so that happened at a bend in a river where there's a double current, and that is important in British witchcraft. It happened in a grove. Look, it's like right in the middle of a grove, which is very also really important in like Masonic British witchcraft.
Right.
It's usually walnut trees that are the most powerful, but just a grove of trees next to a bend in a river. I know that sounds really just coincidental, but that grabbed my attention just from like the stupid teenage girl Wiccan stuff I read.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I wanted to say.
Now, is this Christine?
Yes, it is.
Oh, thank you for calling.
No problem. Sorry. But that's always fascinated me about it. That's kind of one of the things that grabbed my attention was a 13-year-old girl named Abigail Williams was killed at a bend in a river.
Yeah.
With a globe and a tree. And that was like what I very first noticed about this case when my daughter told me about it.
It wasn't, and it's like they said, in a small grove of trees. The whole thing was forest.
Yeah, and that's true. And I've never seen the actual spot. Just the pictures that I see, it looks like it's actual like a maybe like a grove, like a area where it's surrounded by trees. But I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I mean, Abigail Williams. That is.
And there is a Masonic in the English Rite Masonry in like the 24th or 25th degree in like the ceremony where you progress to the next like step. It's either the 25th or 26th step. There is a mention of Abigail Williams in that ceremony. And Pike writes about her as well in his Dogma book. I think it's Dogma, and because he writes about like the Salem witch trials.
Yeah, that would be why. That would be exactly why, you know, for that reason. I had no idea they even went into that in Masonry.
The English Rite is the newer one because the Scottish Rite is the actual like old school, like ancient, like Egyptian Masonry, like old stuff. But the English Scottish Rite was a little bit different, and they only have 32 degrees. that's where they talk about Abigail Williams, and there's like a lot of more of the British Golden Dawn witchcraft in that practice of Masonry.
Did you know that both murders, being in the same number, all of those numbers equal 32?
Yeah, that's why one of the reasons why I was thinking that it was the English-Scottish Rite, especially with her name.
Well, Scottish Rite. He's Scottish.
No, the English Rite. English Rite. Scottish Rite is the ancient one. English Rite is more of like the modern day one, like the more like zodiac oriented, like mystical Kabbalah Masonry. And then Scottish Rite is more like the building blocks of your character Masonry, and that goes up to 33, and English Rite says 32.
Huh.
My grandpa was a Mason, and when he died, just for shits and giggles, I read all of his books.
Oh, cool, man. You know what? That's how you die, man. That's how they come and kill you for knowing stuff you shouldn't, you know.
I know.
They'd be like, "Oh, you read stuff, did you?" Yeah. No, I'm not saying a Freemason would do that, but I'm just saying.
These days.
And hey, thank you for the 10 that you threw up there earlier, man. Very much appreciated.
Oh, that's okay. I like to spend my husband's money.
Ah. Need more people like that.
Well, I know there's all kinds of people listening to me, and I'm all like super paranoid about my Valley Girl voice, so I'm going to hang up. But I just wanted to say that because that's a lot to type without sounding like you're crazy.
I hear you, and that's why I say, man, just go ahead and call.
Okay, well, I really enjoy you. I'm glad I found you.
I'm glad you found me, too. And I appreciate your call.
Okay, and I appreciate you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye. Well, it was really cool, man. Thank you for calling. Much appreciated. Okay, so if anybody else is going to call, please throw it up on the old chat box. And if there's 88 people here, do I have 88 thumbs up? Do I? Tell me I do. Tell me I do. I do not want to get upset with 88 people because that's more than the king can take. Hey, Ruth Ann Smith. How you doing? Hello. Glad you made it. 76, 75. Wow. Okay. You know what? We're getting there. Man, that's only, God, what, like 15 people. 15 people? 15 people. That's this many plus this many more, you know? Just hit that like button, you know? Show me some love. Show me some care. Show a little respect to the guy who's going out of his way to give you the information that you so desire. 79. Thank you, people. You guys rock. You do. And I'm not just saying that either. I'm not. 81. Man, right on. The love from this king. Oh, wait, hang on. Yeah, I got to move stuff. From this king. Wait, is this even the one? No, it ain't. This is. Yeah. This is the one that says that I am the true king of Uganda. Right there. The true king of Uganda. That's DBA name. Never forget that. All right. So I'm praying for this evil to be gone for killing these. Yes, right. We all are. And I feel very confident in the fact that this man is behind bars at this time. And he will, within due time, he will have charges filed against him in multiple states for multiple rapes and murders, brutal as they may be. And I hope that they hand him to me to deal with as I see fit, because you will enjoy that video. It will be graphic, and you will have to be over 18, and you may have to be taking nerve pills in order to view it. I want to point that out. Yeah, you know what? I agree, Lafayette. I do. I definitely do. And that's why I said it's kind of hard to believe because, I mean, Masons are men. You know, they don't accept women. And, you know, for a woman to be that caught up on Masonry and to that level is very, It's odd. It is. And I like that because I like people that look into things that, they want to know about. Will there be popcorn? There may be. Neuropil, Xanax, preferably. Valium. Valium works too. You start stepping outside of that, that's where it gets a little touchy. All right, I got 15 minutes and 15 minutes. Kettle corn? No kettle corn, man. I want that stuff for in a fryer with some butter, real butter, not margarine. Margarine's just colored plastic. Never forget that. But butter has fat in it. You'll raise your cholesterol. Well, it won't kill you like margarine will. God, man. Shit. All right. So anybody with questions? Anybody? Yeah, it didn't sound Valley Girl at all to me. Yeah. And she had the cool red hair, man. It's, Yeah, well, Ivy, and while I do agree with you, because, hey, how you doing, Truth and Justice, man? I'm glad you made it. Is because, look, man, yeah, there's a grand architect, there's a grand creator, or at least I feel. I can't scientifically look at everything and say, yeah, it was all one big bloody accident. It's too perfect to set up, man. So I do believe in that. Now, if you look at Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Hindu, all of these, man, they incorporate a God. And I do not believe, but to any measure, that any of those gods is the real grand architect. In fact, I would say to a 100% degree of certainty, they are not. Because the God that created everything, that entity does not come knocking and saying, hey, here I am. I'm the God that created everything. How you doing, you Earth people? He just don't. Okay, fair enough. If it was not, they can reach me via my email address, seen here. Right here. This is how you can reach me anytime you want. Anytime that you want to reach Michael J. Catt, it's right down here. Write it down. Send me a message. Type it out. You know what? I'll get back with you. If you're blocked, survey says she was a troll already. Shouldn't have got a hold of me. But if you are not, and you have a question, no matter how simple it may be, I will be very happy to answer. Yeah, Alaska Blue is a great mod. A great mod. In fact, I look forward to her and Incognito and Crime Sleuth and Sue Wright. And God, man, I have like a lot of mods. I really do. And Lily White, whatever happened to her? Anybody remember Lily White? She used to be so cool and always here. Maybe one time I dropped an F-bomb when I shouldn't have, but it wasn't her. I don't know what happened. I don't know. Yeah, wow, man. You know what, Katie? God, man, I went to Menards today. Menards. And my friend says, oh, you got to have a mask to go in there. And I'm like, no, I don't. So they'll tell you do, and you'll have to pay $1 to buy one. I said, no, I will not. I walked in. Oh, sir, you need a mask. And I'm like, I ain't shopping here anymore. You. Bye. And I will never go to Menards again. They are about slavery. That is all that they are about. You must wear a mask to be in here. No. And nor will I ever shop at Menards again. Menards, you suck. And I'm not about your, no, it's a new strain of flu. Fuck you. It's a global fucking takeover. And you motherfuckers are behind it. That's right. Anybody that's behind this Sharia law for one and all bullshit, you're fucking ignorant. They come at me with the needle, they're going to have a fucking problem. A big fucking problem. Wait, is there a storm coming at us right now, Kelly? Is there? Oh, shit, man. I hope not. Man, storms destroy my PC, man. Fucking blows my router and shit out. No, well, you know what? I don't hear thunder. So I'm cool as now. Thank you, Ruth. And you know what? The family should be in all of our prayers, all of them, because they're the ones hurt, man. They're the ones that was really hurt. Other people, man, I mean, I understand. I mean, look, it's a small community, and the whole community felt that. It's like this happened right here, you know, right here in their small town of 3,500 people. Well, no, because we have storms coming. We have storms coming too, Sterling. So, you know, I want to be a little watchful of that, because we start getting lightning, man, it'll blow my router right out. But anyways, oh wait, where is it? Yeah, well, ours did today. Yeah, pop-up storms all day long. All right, well, we'll put it out like this. If anybody's got a question, throw it up, and I will pour over them over the next couple minutes, and then I'm going to... You did. Send that to my email if you would, about the cops harassing you. I want to know about that. This is my email one more time. Oh, wait a minute. I don't even have to do that. I can go like so. And that's my email. Please send me an email right there about that. I would like to know about it if you do not mind. A Cloud de Rancho. Please inquire Incognito Society, a great mod and a great channel. If you do not know who, man, where in the hell did that go? Where did it go? If you do not know of Incognito's Society's channel, please go to YouTube and put in Incognito Society, subscribe, and be there, because she has a great show. Christine whom? And I will unblock her. Penny, their FBI's in the case already. Christine Barrow? Is that the name? Okay. Let me go unblock her. Quick second. It takes a moment. And then I got to go through 500 different accounts that the MCs do on there. God, man, I fucking hate fucking idiots. I just do. Fuck. I mean, like, my God, man, when I was his age, man, I mean, I was out doing stuff with, like, women, you know, having fun. I wasn't being a cocksucker in life. One second. It takes a minute to get there. It does, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry about it. And now we got to use the studio YouTube. You can't even go to Classic anymore. It's bullshit. Hang on. It's got to be slow. Heads up, man, while they tell us all about Corona. All right. Now at community. Give me community, please. Man, wow. See, people I didn't even know were moderators or moderators. Man, I have some moderators. Okay, Christine Burrows. Moment. Sorry for you getting blocked, Christine. There was, hey, it happens. You know what? Sue Wright got blocked. Sue Wright, man, my moderator got blocked. And I mean, you talk about accidental. God, that dude spent a long time making accounts. He really did. Wait, what? Incognito Society, you were blocked, and I do not know why. I have no idea why you was blocked, why you was banned from my channel. Wow. There. Wow, man. I don't know how you got blocked, Christine, but there you go. You are unblocked now. Okay. So there that is. All right. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry, but now everybody is back into business. All right. So it was. Well, fine. Should they ever approach again, I will send them on. Or you can. Tomato, tomato. All right, we got 3 minutes. Anybody want to throw something up? Do it now. Do it right now, man, because I got some backside to go kick. No, I think it was accidental, Christine. It's just like if you click on somebody to ban them and the name pops up, it will hit the next person down. That's how you got banned. It was accidental. Accidental. That's why they said accidental. I can't discuss that, Kim. I don't discuss anything like that concerning any family at all. Any family. Because they're the ones that are hurt by this. You know, I mean, you can look at the victims' families. You can look at the murderers' families. They're hurting the same way. Now they got to deal with the fact that this guy is that dude. So I don't want to give anybody a way or a reason to reach them. And I never have, nor would I. Just the way I operate. But I'm not going to get a hold of anybody that cannot help with investigation. Now, if I was to reach his wife, like another dude did, she'd tell me what the FBI told her to say. And if I said, oh, well, that's weird because I assumed it was him. I guess I was wrong. And the FBI would be, yeah. You know, because that's why we told her to say that. Oh, right. Well, exactly. Thank you, Radar, because that was my assumption. You know what? It may or may not, incognito. I mean, his wife is divorcing him, and that was set up for this month. But whether that's going through or not this month because of COVID, you know what? After June 14th in Indiana, then the government reopens. So if that happens on, like, you know, in Missouri the same way, if that happens through most states, then it probably will, or they would set it for shortly thereafter. Best I can offer on that. Thank you very much, Leon. Truth and Justice, Katie, Christine. You know what? I appreciate everybody being here. Anybody that donated, man, I thank you sincerely, as does Wolf, the True Crown Prince of Uganda. You know, because he appreciates it in the same way. And I will get enough in due time to get a better webcam. But right now, I got the best webcam on the market. It just looks like shit. Now, like Ted Barris, man, he does his off of his laptop and with his camera. That shit look is so high def, man, and that's going back a couple years ago, you know. But like, can I get that with this Logitech? God no, man. It just comes out in pixelations, to my knowledge. Hell, I've had people say I can't even see you. I'm sorry, but it lets you look at just the king. So, anyways. Thanks everybody for being here. I appreciate mods, man. And, you know, anybody supporting my channel, God bless. God be with you. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit the bell for notifications. That will never happen. And thanks for being here. I'll see you. I will have a video out this week on the Delphi briefings, and we'll discuss that next Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Thanks for being here. Peace, everyone.